Hello everyone, good morning, how are you all? So we have started physics over here and it's the second day of physics. Today we'll be studying or we'll be discussing the questions which were asked in previous SSC examinations, that includes CPO, then Steno, CHSL. So we are discussing previous year question session this time, and yes, what is the topic today? The topic will be force and motion. So without any delay, we'll be moving forward with the first question, and you will be enjoying this session because first thing is that all the questions were previously asked. Second thing is that all these things we can relate with our daily life, correct? So Udbhav is with us. Hello Udbhav, good morning. And you all are requested to kindly like the session and share it so that we have lots of candidates here and all of them will get benefited from this session. So what's the first question? A person is hurt on kicking stone due to what? Now, when we are talking about a person who is getting hurt by kicking the stone, just imagine the scenario. You are in the frustration level, your frustration level is so high that you think, okay, I don't know what to do, and you just kick the stone. And when you kick the stone, you get hurt. So here are four different options. Let's see who will give this answer. Is it inertia? Is it velocity, reaction, or momentum? So what is going to be the correct answer? This was from SSC Tax Assistant 2009. So what will be the correct answer? A person is hurt on kicking a stone due to what? What is going to be the correct answer? Here, when I talk about a person who is getting hurt on kicking the stone, it is actually due to reaction. Now you must be wondering, sir, how is it? If I talk about the Newton's third law, what does Newton's third law state? Newton's third law states that to every action there is always equal and opposite reaction. True? So we have Avni here. Hello Avni. Hello Chakravarti ji. So you all are having the answer B, that is velocity. No, here the answer would be what? Here the answer would be reaction. So let me explain this part. When we are talking about the third law of motion, it is to every action there is always equal and opposite reaction. For example, I am pushing this board. Let's try to understand. I am trying to push this board hard, but it is not moving backwards. What's the reason behind it? There's the reason that from this part also I am getting the reaction. This is my action and I am getting the reaction, and these forces, if they are equal in nature, this will not move forward. Fine. So yes, Ilma has joined here. Hello Ilma, good afternoon, how are you? So this point is clear. Fine. So when I'm talking about the person who is kicking the stone, this is actually due to he's getting hurt because of the reaction, that is Newton's third law. So option number C would be the correct one. Next, a body with uniform motion can't be accelerated, can be accelerated, always accelerated, remains in the uniform velocity. So this is from CHSL 2014. What is going to be the correct answer? And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like this session. Okay, cool. So there was other example as well, which I always talk about that example in the Hindi medium class. When I'll talk about that Newton's third law, I always have that part. When you are standing near to the girl and just you are trying to propose her and she doesn't like you. So if you will say with the what intensity you are saying, with what intensity you are proposing, with the same intensity you can get the sandal as well. So that was the action reaction. Action, I love you. Reaction, the sandal on our cheek. So yes, this was the part. Let's move forward to the next question. A body with uniform motion. So we have the answers here. Chakravarti is with D. That is, it remains in uniform velocity. Ilma is with uniform velocity, again with option D, and Avni is also with D. Ilma is saying instant reaction. Okay, so what I was saying, when I'll talk about the uniform motion, remember, first of all, if I'll discuss about acceleration. Acceleration is what? Rate of change of velocity, correct? The rate of change of velocity. Now, if I'll talk about the velocity, that means I'll be talking about direction as well. True? Now, let's try to understand. We are told a body is with uniform motion, that's correct. But what will happen if there is a body which is in uniform reaction but it is changing its direction as well? Now when direction is changing, this means what? Since direction is changing, there would be change in the velocity as well. And since there is the change in the velocity, this means it will lead to acceleration. So whenever we are talking about a body with uniform motion, if its direction is changing, this means velocity is there. When there is a change in the velocity, that means acceleration is there. So we can say that it can be accelerated. Therefore, option number B is correct. So HR has joined us, Ashvi has joined us. Hello, good afternoon. I'm waiting for the response. Is this part clear, everyone? See, these are the things where you can clear up your logics. All those logics which are there. Someone was asking me, sir, do we need to mug up? No. If your logics are clear, you can directly click on the answer. Just as this question. So yes, what I was saying, whenever your body is in the uniform motion, if its direction is changing, that means you can talk about the velocity over there. And the rate of change of velocity is what? Acceleration. Therefore, this body can also be accelerated. Therefore, option number B is going to be the correct answer. Next, which of the following force is a virtual force? This is from CGL 2013. And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like this session and share it, please. Yes, waiting for the answer. Which of the following force is a virtual force? Question is from CGL. True, Ilma, true. But Chakravarti, just have a look at the question. The question which was displayed there was no such condition mentioned, and it was asked what can be there, correct? So we have to think with all those conditions which are actually possible. So this question was given in such a manner, we had to use those particular concepts by ourselves. So yes, we were talking about this question, and Chakravarti is the first one to give answer, sir. It would be D. That is, it will be strong nuclear force. Okay. Others, please remember, when we are talking about force, Udbhav is also with D, HR is also with D. No. Let's try to understand this part. And it's good that you are giving the answer. And I give you a surety. We have to use our logics. That's true. Okay, cool. So what I was saying, all those who are giving answer D over here, please try to understand. If I talk about force, when I'm talking about force, here I'll discuss two forces. One is centripetal force and one is centrifugal force. Let's have clarity for the both. Whenever we are talking about all those forces which are acting towards the center. For example, you must have seen those races, MotoGP races. Remember those races? If you have not seen those races also, then we all are from that generation where we have played those games in which bike races were there. And when this bike rider used to turn, it used to bend towards the circle, isn't it? They used to bend sideways towards the center. Why? So that their bike will not fall down. Here we can talk about the banking of roads as well. So when you will move on the highway, you will see that they are not correct exactly straight. They are quite tilted, so that your balance is there and your bike or car doesn't skid. Fine. So yes, if I talk about the force that is towards the center, that is the example of centripetal. But this force that is centrifugal is actually pseudo force. I'll write. It's the pseudo one, and this actually it tends to move or is actually away from the center. So there's a difference. Now how you will remember this? Please remember with this part. This is the trick actually in Hindi. You know, pitti pitti, I always say, Ilma, I'll be doing pitti pitti. So this is the part where you can remember, whenever our mother gives us tight slap, it's not at this age, but she can give, no matter we are at what age, mother will always be mother. But let's try to remember our childhood. This is just a trick to remember. In our childhood, whenever we used to do mischievous activities, our mother used to give us the tight slap and he used to say, center mein aa jaoge. Center mein aa jaoge means what? Just see, Pete, after pedal, you will be coming in the center. So this is the force which is acting towards the center, and it is the real one. Mother's love is real one, no matter she's beating or what. But this centrifugal is pseudo force which doesn't exist in the reality, but it is in the opposite direction. Please remember, the centripetal force tends to act towards the center, and this centrifugal tends to occur away from the center, but it's not real, it's pseudo force. Fine. So the same question is, which of the following force is virtual force? So here your centrifugal force will be the virtual force, and who was the one? I guess Chakravarti was the one who was talking about nuclear force. See, that would be real one. Fine, I'll be explaining that also in the later question. No panga with mom, that's true. So I guess this point is clear. So virtual force is which one? Centrifugal, because this is actually the pseudo force, and where it tends to act away from the center. Got my point? Need response from everyone. Give thumbs up, everyone. And this is the important part. Please do not forget these questions. These questions are repeatedly asked, and I am using all the logics which are actually applicable over here. And yes, try to understand other options as well, whichever I'm explaining, that means they are of a significant role. Fine. But those options which are of no use, that I'll not explain. Got my point, please? Okay. Pepsi. Thank you for the Pepsi. Next question is, when a body is immersed in a fluid, then the force acting on it is dash. This is from Chsl 2013. Please give this answer by thinking twice. In the first go, you must be thinking that, yeah, one of the option is correct or two of the options are correct. Just think about it. And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like this session and share it. Let's try to understand, when a body is immersed in a fluid, then the force acting on it is dash. Now, the time you are giving this answer, I'll give you a hint. Whenever, when we were in our childhood, I again and again see talk about childhood, because in our childhood, we used to do lot of experiments, correct? So, Ayushi has given option D. Chakravarti is also with option D. In our school time, in our school days, what we used to do, whenever we used to go for bathing, we used to use the mug and try to keep on bouncing it. We used to try to immerse it and it used to come out. Remember that fact? What used to happen over there? If I'll make a bucket over here with water, let's assume this is water, and we'll take green color as the mug. So if I'll put mug over here, inverted mug, what used to happen in this case? Here, it was having some weight, correct, which was tending downward. But if I'll talk about this water, when we were pressing it, at this time, what used to happen? There was a buoyant force which we call upthrust, which actually acts here, and this goes upwards. That is your upthrust. That is also known as buoyant force. Fine. So yes, here we can see that upthrust is also there, and this weight is also acting, but they are actually in opposite directions. Remember? हाँ, कुछ लोग अब भी करते हैं, that's true, but no one tells about it. In the similar manner, when we eat Lays, if we are in front of someone, we eat like this. But when there is no one, we actually at the last, whatever powder is there, we even eat that. True. So this is the same thing. Okay, let's come back to the question. So upthrust tends to act upwards and weight downwards, and hence we can say that here both A and B, that is upward thrust is also there and weight is also there. Is this point clear? Very important. Please do not forget, and everyone who has joined the session, kindly like it and share it. Okay then. So here D option is correct. Do you have any doubt? Please let me know so that I can proceed forward now. Is there any sort of doubt? No one? Okay. So let's move forward now with the next question. Cream gets separated out of the milk when it is churned. This is due to dash. Now this is from Tax Assistant 2007. Options. Waiting for the answer. Okay, cool. Waiting for the response. Cool. Others, please, waiting for the answer. If I'm talking about the cream, so cream gets separated out of the milk when it is churned. So this is due to what? Is it gravitational force? Is it centripetal? Is it centrifugal? Or is it frictional? So Chakravarti is the first one to answer this. That is, sir, it would be C. Others, are you all with Chakravarti? So here, Chakravarti, you are absolutely correct. The correct answer would be centrifugal force. As already told to you, whenever we are talking about the force which is tending towards outside, correct, that would be centrifugal. And when we are talking about the churning of this milk, here centrifugal is going to be the correct answer. And yes, Ilma, Ayushi, Chakravarti, everyone, you all are correct. Next, Newton's first law of motion gives the concept of what? Now this one is simple. I want the correct answer from everyone. Everyone. This is from Tax Assistant 2007 and Chsl 2011. What is the correct answer? Newton's first law of motion gives the concept of what? Once you give the answer, I'll explain this part. True. Here Chakravarti is saying, sir, another example is of washing machine. Absolutely correct. Everyone who has used washing machine, or if they are having the washing machine at their home, you can just have a look. If I talk about a washing machine, at the end there is a structure in which all those threads and waste products actually get attached to it. Why? Because when we are washing our clothes, at that time the centrifugal force is doing what? It is actually tending to move outwards, correct? So here what happens, whatever waste is there, for example threads and other things, they get stuck into that particular pocket from which we can actually dispose it. So that's true, that is the example of the same force. So yes, Chakravarti is with D, Ayushi is with D, Ilma is with D. You all are correct. The correct answer would be inertia. Now, what is in Newton's first law? Newton's first law states that if a body is in state of rest, it will be in the state of rest. If it is in the state of motion, it will be in the state of motion until and unless an external force is applied on it. Again, I am saying Newton's first law states that if a body is in a state of rest, it will be in the state of rest. If the body is in the state of motion, it will be in the state of motion until and unless an external force is applied on it. So this means here we are talking about inertia. Now, what happens? We think that, sir, what? If you're talking about this logic, this means when I'm hitting a ball by a cricket bat, then ball should keep on moving. Why it is stopping? So who will give me this answer? Is Newton law not valid here? Why, whenever you are hitting the ball by a bat, why it is stopping at some instant? For example, if Virat Kohli is giving a 6, so after the 6, the ball should actually keep on flying. Why is it stopping? Why is it stopping? Can someone give me this answer? That's true. There was a point which I gave in the last moment. What was that? The last point was until and unless external force is applied on it. Now what will happen? When we are talking about the ball that is moving, so what is happening? When this ball is moving, there's a force that is acting backward, just in the opposite direction. That is what? That is frictional force, correct? So yes, you can remember, whenever we are talking about this Newton's first law, we are saying that there is no such external force, and here frictional force is what? It is actually a type of force, correct? That's why your ball actually stops moving. So yes, Chakravarti is saying something. So inertia is the tendency to remain in state of rest or state of motion. That's true. That's over the Newton's first law. Then Ilma is saying something. जितना force लगाएंगे उतना ही दूर जाएगा, stop हो जाएगा. No, Ilma. The thing is that it was stopping because there was the frictional force that was acting, which was actually decreasing that particular speed of velocity. Got my point? So everyone, you all are correct, and this is option D. That is the correct answer. Next. A person dropped a ball from a train moving with a uniform speed. An observer standing on a platform observes it. What will be the path observed by the observer? Now this is from Chsl 2011. Just try to use your mind. Just imagine the scenario. There's a train in which you are standing. Fine. Now there's someone who is there on the platform. When you threw something, which particular motion would be there? So, what particular path would be covered by it? Waiting for the answer. Till then, give me just 10 seconds. Yes. So, Aishi has given us answer A. Then, others? Just think about it. But yes, so Ilma is also with A. Ilma is with rectilinear, cool. Others? See, when we are talking about train, we have thrown something. Now, since train was moving in this direction, this means the object which we have thrown will also move in the same direction because that object was also there in the train. But this is actually the horizontal direction. Now, what will happen? Because of the presence of gravity, it will tend to move downwards, correct? So if I talk about this particular motion, this particular path, so this is what? This path is actually parabolic path. Got my point? Okay, again the late comments. Okay, but it's good that you have given the answer. What I was saying, so this path which we are talking about, here we are having both the components, correct? Because of the motion, horizontal direction is here, but due to the gravity, it will tend to go downwards. So here what I'll say, here the path which is present is your parabolic path. Fine? Yes. So here parabolic path, that is your option number C would be the correct answer. Next, and everyone is requested to please give me this answer because the thing is that these questions are repeatedly asked. Fine. Okay then, so there's an example official application which is one-stop solution for all the government job aspirants. It is having live paid courses with the test series, free subject-wise and topic-wise quizzes with the report card, job alerts, admit card, examination dates, then current affair, daily, weekly, monthly. You will be getting all these stuffs at just single platform. Just go to Play Store, type example over there, Click on the install button, click at the open part, do registration and start using it. So there's the next question. The motion of a wheel of a bull cart while moving on the road is an example of what? Now this is from Chsl 2014. Answer. Yes, wedding. The motion of the wheel of a bullock cart while moving on the road is an example of dash. Now this is from Chsl 2014. Waiting for the answer. No one? See, when I'll talk about this part, here please try to understand when we are talking about the motion, if there's a wheel which is actually rotating, this means this is what? This is circular motion, correct? So this means there is a rotatory motion which is going there, but because of this movement in this manner, it will tend to move in the forward direction as well. This means there is rotation also, that is rotatory motion. Apart from that, it is moving in the straight forward direction. This means what? Here it is taking the translatory motion as well. So Udbhav, very good. Ilma, very good. Ayushi, very good. You all are correct. Here it is having the translatory motion. Why? Because it is moving in the straight direction. It is also having rotatory motion since it is rotating. So it is the combination of both, and hence we will say that option number C is the correct answer. Next, a tennis ball and a cricket ball with heavier mass are thrown with the same velocity, then to stop the cricket ball, we need which of the following? MTS exam 2006. Is it more force? Is it less force? Equal force or infinite force? What is going to be the correct answer? And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like it and share it, please. Yes, now again, the logic that needs to be applied. When we talk about force, if I talk about Newton's second law, we are aware of this. So if I'll talk about force is equal to mass into the acceleration, I know one thing, that mass will never change. Mass is always same. Therefore, I can say that force is actually dependent on the acceleration. Now, acceleration is what? It is the rate of change of velocity. One more thing is there. When I'm talking about mass, now just try to relate the same thing with the question. So I've given you the hint. So Ilma is saying that it would be equal, I think. But others, do you think the same? Ayushi is with A. Sir, more force will be required. So we have two answers here. Ayushi is with A. Ilma is with C. Udbhav, what do you think? What is going to be the correct answer? Apart from that, we were having Chakravarti, HR. What do you think? What is going to be the correct answer? Now see, in these questions, we need discussion. In the bio part, we were having explanation, no doubt. We were having some tricks and all. But these all things can be related with the real life. On the daily basis, we are actually using all these things. Whatever we are having look at these questions, correct? So I'll be discussing about ice, water. All those things are real world examples which we are doing on the daily basis. So just try to understand this question. If I'll use a tennis ball, correct? So for the tennis ball, it's very obvious. Let us assume it is M1, mass is M1. If I'll talk about a cricket ball, let us assume its mass is M2. M2 will be greater than M1, as simple as that. Now, totally correct, totally correct. So, Udbhav is also with A, more force. Very good, Udbhav. So, yes, everyone, mass is lesser for tennis ball, mass is greater for the cricket ball. And we are talking about what? We are talking about force. So, if I talk about F is equal to M1 into A, another F is equal to M2 into A. Now, we are aware of they both were with the same velocity, correct? So this means we are dependent on which factor? We are dependent on the mass factor. Now it's very obvious, mass of which one is greater? Cricket ball is greater. And what is being asked in the question? Then to stop the cricket ball, we need which of the following? Obviously, more force. Just have a look. M2 was of greater mass, na? So if whatever value of M2 is, no matter what is it, it will be greater than M1. Greater than tennis ball. That's why we require more force. Simple. So got my point, Ilma, because you gave the wrong answer, and it's good that you are trying to understand this and you are giving the answer. So I don't think so next time you will be wrong. Got my point? Please give me thumbs up if it has entered into your head. Okay, so this was the effect here. So more force is the correct answer. Next, a cyclist should lean in a circular motion. Why? This is in the it was asked in Steno twice, 2012 and 13. True. God. Cool, cool. Okay then. A cyclist should lean in a circular motion. Why? Again, same thing I'll say. There's a circular track. Correct? Now, if some cyclist is there, it needs to tend. It needs to bend, sorry. Why? So that he can actually cycle that or move in the proper manner. Doesn't fall down. So what should be done? What should be done? In what manner he should lean? He should lean forward, backward, sidewise towards the center or sidewise away from the center. What is going to be the correct answer? Very good, Ilma. Awesome. So Udbhav, Ayushi, are you also with the same answer? If you are with the same answer, it's awesome. It's absolutely correct. He needs to he needs to bend sidewise towards the center. And we know that when we are talking about towards the center, this means we are talking about which force? Centripetal or centrifugal? Who will give me this answer? If I'm talking about the force that is acting towards the center, this will be centripetal or centrifugal? Very good, Elma. Totally correct. Absolutely correct. So here, option number C is the correct one. Next, rocket acts on the law of conservation of what? Now, this is from CHSL 2014. What is going to be the correct one? Waiting for the response. Yes, answer please. What is the answer? Pitti pitti se center mein aa jaoge. That's true. So with the pitti pitti only you all are there in the center. Correct? So yes, that was true. So here rocket acts on the law of conservation of what? So is it angular momentum? Is it mass, energy or linear momentum? What is it? When we talk about rocket, so what happens? Let us assume this is the rocket. We have gaseous propulsion over here, which tends to go downwards, and because of which this rocket will move upward. Correct? And we are aware of this. See, when we are talking about the conservation of energy, this means energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another. But here, when we are talking about this propulsion, action reaction types, correct? So here we'll talk about the momentum. Yes, so there says the conservation of the linear momentum over here. Please remember, here there is no such law of conservation of energy. Directly we'll say that it is the law of conservation of linear momentum. So yes, Udbhav is also with same answer, but please remember this was wrong, but no issues. We must be aware of this. Linear momentum will be the correct one. Next, why the needle of iron swims on water surface when it is kept gently? Question. Let's try to understand this. If there's a water body, or we can assume the water which is present in the glass. Let us assume this is water. Now what happened? We can take red color. There was a needle which was kept gently. This red one, this needle was kept gently. Now please focus on the word when it is kept gently. Why? Because if it will not be kept in the gentle manner, if it is thrown like this, it will sink. Why? Because we are aware of whenever anything is having density which is greater than that of liquid, it will tend to sink down. It's as simple as it. But if it is placed gently, it doesn't sink. Reason behind it, and here's the answer, and Ilma has given the answer. The correct answer is surface tension. Kida also not Kida also doesn't dissolve in water. That's true. So yes, what I was saying here, please remember that's the reason because of which this needle is not sinking when it is placed gently. Why? Because of the surface tension of the water, which is allowing it to float on it. But if it is placed in such a manner, it is thrown in such a manner, this particular needle will sink down because its density is greater than water. But in this case, when it is kept gently, because of the presence of surface tension, it is actually floating. Got my point? So yes, water also has tension. That's true. Everyone has tension. Next question. An ice block with a piece of lead embedded in it floats in water. If ice melts, then the water's level will rise, fall, remain same, falls first, then rises. This is from SSC Section Officer 2011, and I want answer from everyone in this manner, in this case, because all these questions are previously asked, very, very important, and if you are not able to use your logics, you will not able to give this answer. So let's see who gives this answer. Waiting. And everyone is requested who has joined, kindly like the session and share it. Yes, Janta Janardhan, waiting for the answer. I want the answer. Again, I am saying there's an ice block in which lead was embedded in it, and it obviously ice will float. Now, if ice is melting, then what will happen to the level of water? So we have Ilma's answer, say it will fall first and then rise. Ayushi is with A, sir, water level will rise. Others, and this is the important one. I want answer from everyone because there is a logic which will give you the correct answer. So we have two options. One is with A, one is with D. Others, need answer from all the candidates who are watching this live right now. All the questions are important, and if you will not converse it, you will not get all those logics. Otherwise, I'll directly say, okay, this is the correct answer, this is the correct answer, this is the correct answer, and session will get over. And you will be thinking, oh, we have discussed so lots of things, correct? But there are many logics which are important for the examination. We need to discuss for that. Okay, so if I'll talk about this ice block, let's try to understand. When I'm talking about an ice block, there's a lead, I'll use blue color, which was embedded in this, let us assume this part. Fine. Now, we are aware of, so Megha is also with D option. Okay. So, welcome here, Megha. So, yes, what I was saying, there was a lead which was embedded in it. Just think about it. Just think. Ice was floating on water, correct? And if lead would not be there, what will happen? Here, whatever is the volume of this ice, accordingly it will get converted into water. But since lead was embedded, it's very obvious this much part must have come out. So I'll use red color over here. This much part would have already come out at the time when this lead was embedded. Now, when we are talking about its melting, now the part which will melt will be part without this part, correct? And yes, when we are talking about its melting, so this part was already out because at that location this lead was embedded. Now if I talk about the water level, so water level will be according to this part. Please remember, in this condition what is going to happen? Here your water level will get down, that is water level will fall. So here option number B will be correct. And again I'll tell you about all those principles. I guess you remember Archimedes principle, right? Where whatever the object is kept, accordingly water is displaced. Remember all those things? We have discussed Archimedes principle yesterday itself. We'll be discussing about this again. But please remember this fact. What is going to happen here? In this condition, here water level is going to fall. That is, we'll say that water level falls down. So here false would be the correct answer. Next. What principle or law explains the working of the hydraulic brakes in automobiles? This is from Combined Graduate Level 97. Is it Bernoulli's law? Which one would be the correct answer? A, B, C, D. Everyone. Waiting for the answer, please. What principle or law explains the working of hydraulic brakes in the automobiles? So we have Manisha here, and Manisha has given answers. So there it would be Pascal's law. And yes, that's true. Whenever we talk about these hydraulic brakes or hydraulic jacks, the principle which is used here is what? Here we have Pascal's law, which actually tells whenever you are applying the pressure at any one particular location or at any particular point, what will happen? It will actually lead to give pressure, same type of pressure at other point as well. For example, if there's a ball, here I put a pin. This ball was having water in it, or I'll give the example of balloon. When I'm putting the pressure in this manner, what will happen? Here also I made some holes. Water will come out from all these holes, and here we'll be having same type of pressure everywhere. correct? So this is the Pascal law. Where if I talk about the hydraulic jack, what happens? There's a piston over here, and here's a car which is kept. Now my drawing is very good. You can just check check it. So let us assume this is a car, and there is a force that is applied on this part. Now this area is quite small, correct? So if I talk about pressure over here, it is what? Force upon area. And this is again force upon area. This is again pressure. Now let us assume this is F2, A2, then it is F1, A1. Whatever pressure we are giving here, we will be getting same pressure according to the Pascal's law. So in this condition, what happens? Even if we are applying lesser amount of force, this whole car can be actually lifted with the lesser force. Why? Because since pressure is same, so it will be F1 upon A1 is equal to F2 upon A2. And if I'll move this A1 here, so it will be A1 upon A2 into F2. Now we are aware of the value of A1 is what? The value of A1 was lesser. This means it will act as a force multiplier. True. So in this condition, we can directly say where we are talking about the hydraulic brakes, applying the brakes, or hydraulic jacks, these are actually working on the Pascal's law, and hence option number C, that is Pascal's law, would be the correct answer. Let's move forward now. A falling drop of rainwater acquires spherical shape due to what? Now this is from SSC Section Officer 2008. What is going to be the correct one? What is the correct answer over here? A falling drop of a rainwater acquires the spherical shape. Why? Do you know what is spherical shape? Spherical shape means you can take the example of any of the ball. Fine. So that ball is actually spherical in shape. Footballs, basketballs, cricket balls, all those are actually spherical in shape. This is actually 3D structure. That's why we are saying this is circle. This is 2D structure, so we are saying it's circle. But when we'll talk about the 3D structure, where we are talking about the football and all, that is actually spherical in shape. So yes, here Ilma is saying that it will be tension. Okay. Others, falling drop of a rainwater acquires the spherical shape due to dash. And I'll give you a hint. It will have the maximum surface area as well. Now Ilma has changed the answer, so it will be gravitational force. Okay. Others, we want answer from everyone. Manisha, what's the answer here? Udbhav, we have Megha, we have Sana, everyone, who all are present here. Once you give the attendance, I'll be knowing who all are present actually. So here, let me tell you what is going to be the correct answer. The correct answer would be surface tension over here. Because of the presence of surface tension, the falling drop of rainwater acquires the spherical shape. So here, Ilma, you were correct in the first go, but in the second attempt you went wrong. Next, the weakest of all fundamental forces is dash. I guess it was a HR or someone else. I don't know who was he. He was talking about nuclear force as the pseudo force. No, it was not a pseudo force. Correct? So let's have a look at this question. The weakest of all the forces is what? This is from SSC Section Officer 2008. Yes. Is it gravitational force? Is it electrostatic force? Is it magnetic force or nuclear force? What is going to be the correct answer? No issues, no issues. But I want the answer for this one. Weakest of all the forces. Yes, the weakest of all the fundamental forces is what? Is it gravitational force? Is it electrostatic? Is it magnetic or nuclear? So Ilma is saying, sir, is it electrostatic? No, Ilma. See, here the correct answer will be gravitational force. Fine. Gravitational force is the weaker one. Now, what is gravitational force? Whenever we talk about any of the two bodies, no matter what is it, whether it is this pen, whether this is water bottle, any of the body, any body which is having mass, the only condition is if there is any two bodies which are having mass, they will be applying gravitational force on each other. Fine. So yes, Manisha, you are absolutely correct. Awesome. Gravitational force is the correct answer. But my next question is, which is the strongest force here? Who will give me this answer? Which one is the strongest force? See, both the questions are important. So it is good that you have given the answer gravitational force. That is the weakest force. Weakest. Now my question is, which one is the strongest force? Want answer from everyone. Okay. So yes, strongest one. Waiting for the answer. Need answer from everyone. Till then I'll have water. Absolutely correct. So yes, if I talk about this nuclear force, this is the strongest one and the weaker one is the gravitational force. So option A is correct. Next, the wall of a dam is broader at the base. Why? This is from SSC Combined Metric Level 2002. What is going to be the correct one? Everyone who is present here, just have a look at the options. Because streamlining is required to withstand the pressure that increases with the depth, to withstand the pressure that increases in the horizontal plane, to withstand the pressure that is increased with the atmospheric pressure. What is going to be the correct answer? Everyone, just have a look at the question. No one? Still waiting for the answer. The wall of a dam is broader at the base. Why? And this is a very basic question. We have already seen this question when we were in the 4th standard. First time when I saw this question, I was then in the 4th standard. So obviously you all have passed that stage. You all were in the 4th standard once upon a time. Correct? So yes, Ilma is in state of doubts. Ilma is saying, sir, whether it would be B or C. Manish and others. Whenever we are talking about dam, I'll just try to make a dam over here. When we are talking about a dam, as we start moving downwards, no. Just try to understand that this particular part is increasing. Why? Because actually as we move downwards, the pressure is actually increasing. So as we are moving towards the depth, the pressure will keep on increasing. That's why in order to withstand pressure, it increases with the depth. So dam would be quite like this, in this manner. Why? Because as soon as you will move downwards or the depth is increasing, your pressure will increase. Fine. So here option number B is going to be the correct answer. It's very simple. So to withstand the pressure that is increasing with the depth, we need to make the wall of the dam with a broader base. Next, which of the following liquid is most viscous? Now this question is from SSC Combined Metric Level 2002. Is it oil, milk, water or petrol? Which is going to be the correct answer? Waiting for the response. Ilma is saying one of the option is correct. Yeah. Okay. So which of the following liquid is the most viscous one? Is it oil, milk, water or petrol? Now this question is from SSC Combined Metric Level 2002. Viscosity. That means we are talking about fluidity. Correct. In Hindi we can say that gaadapan. Now this would be easier for the Hindi candidates. You can relate it with this gaadapan. So I guess this time answer will be correct. So let's see who all gives this answer correct in the first attempt. Ilma is saying petrol because वो हवा में उड़ जाता है. Ilma, how can you relate with this fact? I have just told you we are talking about the viscosity, that is we are talking about the viscous nature, where we can talk about the fluidity, or in Hindi I am talking about the gaadapan. So now try to relate it. Are you still with the petrol answer? Manisha, are you there with the petrol? Others? Waiting for the response so that we can proceed forward. I have already explained. We are talking about the viscosity, that is viscous nature. Then we can talk about the fluidity. In Hindi, we can talk about gaadapan. So now, which of the following is most viscous? This is from Combined Metric Level 2002. Is it oil, milk, water or petrol? Ilma is saying, okay, so this would be oil for sure now. That's true. That's true, Ilma. Here, oil is the correct answer. So oil is actually viscous among all the other options. So yes, oil is the liquid which is viscous among others. Next, if cream is removed from milk, its density will what? Waiting for the answer. If cream is removed from the milk, its density will what? So this is from SSC 10+2 level, DU and LDC. Now again, everyone who is present here, just think about this question. When we're talking about the cream, this means cream must be having density. Now, when cream is removed, what is going to be the density of the milk? See, remember, the density of cream is actually less. Fine. Now since the density of the cream is less, density of milk is more. Now if the cream is removed, what is going to happen? Again I am saying density of cream is lesser than the density of milk. I'll write cream directly. Density of cream, D cream, is lesser than the density of milk. Now try to relate the answer. If I am having X amount of cream over there and X amount of milk, Y amount of milk, now X amount of cream is removed. So what will happen? The density will increase or decrease? Everyone. See, all these things are important. Please remember, if the density of, we are talking about the density of the cream. So if cream is actually removed, it's very obvious density of the milk will, what? Density of the milk is going to increase, correct? So will it be the correct answer? Ilma, will it be the correct one now? Or you are still with the decreases part? I don't know what is happening here. So yes, option number A is correct. I guess you got my point. So these things are important. Do not forget. Fine. So yes, if the cream is removed from the milk, its density is going to increase. We have already understood the fact. What was the fact? That the density of the cream was lesser than the milk. Now, what will happen? If cream is removed, this means here density will obviously increase. Correct? So yes, it will increase. Next. The minimum number of forces required to keep a particle in equilibrium is dash. Now this is from Ssc Cpf SI, CISF ASI and Delhi Police 2014. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone just think about it. All these questions will be solved by using the logics. Yes. So the minimum number of forces required to keep the particle in equilibrium is dash. Now what is equilibrium? Here we are talking about a state in which there is no such motion now. That is, the resultant force is actually 0 over here. Okay, Udbhav, fine. So Ilma is saying so the answer would be 2. That is option number B. Udbhav, are you with the same answer? Others, are you with the same answer? When we are talking about the state of equilibrium, that means summation of all the forces will be 0. There would be no such force that is acting. That is, if I add all the forces, it will be 0. So this means when I'm talking about this equilibrium condition, I need minimum 2 forces. Minimum 2 forces are required, where we can say that the summation of all the forces is 0. And this is the state of equilibrium. Here option number B, that is 2, will be the correct answer. Fine. So yes, option number B is correct. Next. The weight of the body at the center of Earth is dash. Now this is from Ssc Cpf, Cpo SI, CISF ASI, DP, that is Delhi Police 2016. What is going to be the correct answer? The weight of the body at the center of the Earth. So till the time you're giving me answer, let me tell you, if I talk about weight, how we can calculate the weight? We have mass into gravity. What is it? In one way we can say that it is derived from what? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Here we are talking about weight over here. Mass is same. Acceleration, we are talking about acceleration due to gravity here. Correct? So I'll not go with this part. This explanation is not required right now. But we are asked about the weight of the body at the center of the Earth. Now, if I talk about the gravity, Ilma, by mistake you have used plus, that would be multiply. If I talk about the gravity of the Earth at the center, that is what? The gravity of the Earth at the center is actually 0. Remember, when we are talking about a Earth, at the center it is 0 and at the equator it is minimum. As soon as we move towards the pole, at the pole we have gravity maximum. Remember, we will be having discussion that on the gravitational topic also. But here, when we are talking about the center, this means it is 0. Now, it is not dependent on the mass. Why? Because mass is always same. So here what is going to happen? Here weight will become what? Weight will become 0, because whatever is multiplied to 0 gives 0. Here Ilma has given the answer, so it would be 0, and that's absolutely correct. Option number B will be the correct answer. So the weight of any body at the center of the Earth is 0. Now who all ever are those healthy ones and our friends, let us saying, bhai, what are you doing? You are so heavy. Just tell them, I am not heavy. It's not my error. this error is actually present because of this gravity. Right now, I'm nearby you. That's why you're saying that I'm heavy. Come with me at the center of the earth. Let's see who is heavier. You both will be having zero weight. Fine. So, okay, it actually depends on the location where we are, and accordingly our weight will vary. Fine. At the poles, we will be having the maximum weight, and if we are at the center of the earth, that would be zero. Okay then. So here, option number B, that is zero, will be the correct answer. There's the next question. If a body slides over a surface, the force resting the motion between them is called what? So this is from Chsl TO1 2016, and this will be question of the day. Fine, this is very simple one, but I want this answer in the comment section. So okay then, bye bye everyone. Please take care. Yes, if we'll go on the moon, we'll be having lesser weight. Absolutely correct. So I'll be requiring this answer in the comment section. Who all are having any doubt, just comment section is available for you. Just let me know. So I want answer from everyone in the comment section. This would be the question of the day. And once you give me the answer, on the next class, I'll discuss about it. So bye-bye. Please take care. And for the theory section, please meet me live at 6 in the evening. Okay? Bye-bye. Please take care.